Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Tuesday, April 7th, 2026, and we're here for a town board meeting. At this time, we'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Kern. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Denise. Thank you, sir. Councilman Rothwell, do we have someone for invocation today?
We do. Once again, we are honored to have the Reverend Dr. Sean Murray here, pastor of the First Congregational Church of Riverhead. So we always appreciate you coming back. And a belated happy Easter. I know you're very busy this past weekend.
Yeah, I've been busy. Yeah, been busy for a while now. So, and happy Passover, happy Easter, all that good stuff.
Do you get off tomorrow? You get a day off now, Pastor?
Typically a lot of places have that Monday, Tuesday off following Easter, but I couldn't keep away from here. Come on.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
I'll be retiring.
Sorry to hear that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I will be on sabbatical for July and August. I'll come back. I'll celebrate communion the first Sunday in September, and the third Sunday of September will be the last at the church. And you're all welcome to come and join us.
Are we foreseeing Pastor Wooten?
Yes. Yeah, the good town clerk is going to be filling in there. So, yeah, I've already cleared that with him.
Okay.
So, and we also have this guy here, whom you might know, this town attorney guy. So, I already got him, lined up to be preaching on Father's Day. So,
Awesome.
yeah, that'll give him.
Well, you got legal guy.
Been put on notice.
That's right. Yeah. It's great. Yeah, Yeah, pretty soon we'll get a hold of you. Jerry, you're not doing anything Sunday mornings anymore, so.
On free time.
Right. So what are we praying for?
Low taxes.
Lottery wins, I hear. Nothing in particular.
I think peace. I think I heard someone say peace. I think peace is good.
Amen. Yeah, peace is always good, right? So, let us pray. Good and gracious, most holy God, we give you thanks for this season of new life, of growing things, for the bounty and beauty that surrounds us, O God. We are grateful. We're grateful for the men and women of our Riverhead, for the many who give so much, for those who protect us and keep us safe, and those who come to our rescue when we're in trouble, for the healthcare workers, and for good neighbors who look after one another. Gracious One, we do pray for peace. Peace in our schools. Peace in our families and community. Most of all, O God, we pray for peace in our world. An end to the conflict in Ukraine and to the war in the Middle East. Guide our leaders, O God, in ways of peace. Bless the leaders in this room, and guide them too, O God, in ways that don't disappoint, but that truly are good for all of us here in Riverhead. Continue to bless our town, O God. May we prosper and live well. Bless us one and all. In your great name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Best wishes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Have a wonderful meeting.
Thank you, sir.
There's close to 100 resolutions if you want to stick around.
Okay, that would be great.
Right.
Yeah, I know half the crowd too.
So our announcements today, as Councilman Rothwell said, we have a lot of resolutions, so we want to get through them. This Saturday and Sunday kicks off race, track, not street, spring fling at EPCAL. We also have May 1st is coming up. Well, we celebrate our 250th birthday as America. We have the Great American Bash at the Suffolk Theater at 8 p.m. Tickets are available. And our water department will be doing their flushing of the water mains, which is an annual event that everyone gets excited about, April 12th through the 25th in the evenings. And we also want to say a special thanks to Ken Testa for fixing the pilings in the East Creek Marina, or the East Creek area, so they can be open by April 15th. So we're excited about that, our engineering. And does anyone else have another announcement that they would like to make?
I do, and I think that Justin is going to help me out with putting something on the screen. Oh, there it is. So Saturday, April 25th, we are proud to announce that we will have the town-wide cleanup day throughout Riverhead, Wading River to Laurel, sponsored by the Anti-Litter Committee. Come to Town Hall between the hours of 9 and 11 a.m. and you will be given gloves and a garbage bag and a safety vest, pickers to go around and do your part to help beautify the town of Riverhead. So bring the family out, all are welcome, and I hope to see you there that day.
Anyone else? All right, I believe that ends our announcements, and at this time, we would like to celebrate our certificate of recognition for our Employee of the Year in 2025, Scott Vance. And I know that Mike Zaleski would like to come forward and say something, I believe is what he's asked, so if you guys want to come on down. We're all going up, they said, so. Have our highway department come, yep.
Yeah, should I speak at the podium? or-
Sure. I think you can speak right in front if you want. But let's do this. Let's bring you guys want to come down here with us? I think there's a microphone everywhere, Mike.
Okay.
Can we have you come down here so you're on camera for that? You guys can see.
CIA stuff, you can talk.
Yeah, just turn, if you guys just want to turn it where everybody can hear you and see you, that would be fantastic. Oh, you
First of all, I just want to thank everybody for recognizing Scott Vance, especially the Labor Management Committee. Coincidentally, the townwide cleanup is April 25th, Saturday, and I'm very proud to put this individual in for what he does. His cleanup day is basically every day. The highway department, we have many duties there: plowing, patching, mowing. We used to try to have people from time to time jab papers, pick up debris. Scott, by himself, 95% of the year, 4 out of the 5 days during the week, picks up litter. And he just doesn't fill up a bag. He fills up 3 to 5 yards of litter every single day he goes out. We have a small dumpster at work. Beginning of the day, it's empty, and at the end of the day, it is overflowing. It's not just pieces of paper here and there. He's called the shop, can you bring a machine down? I want to drag this tire out of the woods. There's this refrigerator here. He goes way above and beyond. I can't thank the board, the town, the committee to recognize his efforts. It's a dirty job, and he does it with all his heart and his passion, and I definitely want to recognize that. And it's not just litter. I can't imagine the stories. Sometimes there's things in the shop. Where did this box or whatever come from? Well, Scott found that on the road. I think 2 or 3 wallets he's found, immediately brings them to the office. I bring him to PD. Yeah, it's just amazing what he does. He helps keep this town very clean. I want to thank him for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Your certificate of recognition just states what Mike said, and that is that you have constantly demonstrated exceptional skills and strong commitment to the highway department and the Riverhead community, and we are thankful for that. And so I am honored and humbled, as well as the rest of the town board, to congratulate you and bestow the award of Employee upon the Year for 2025. Thank you so much for all you've done for us.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Really great neighbor.
A real camera.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you for all that you do for the town.
Scott, I've seen you so many times out there. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you very much for everything you do.
Thank you for everything you do, sir. Congratulations.
The week off, I'm gonna enjoy.
I'd just like to ask our town clerk at that. We're so thankful for Scott, but do we have any, our correspondence and our reports, please?
We did. We received 3 letters this past cycle. One was from Jeff Szabo in reference to the Suffolk County Water Authority and an invitation to them to meet with the Greater Calverton Civic Association for a public dialogue. A letter from Jamie Nieroda from Riverhead reference to littering, which is apropos for not only the award we just gave out, but also in recognition of what's coming up on April 25th. A letter from John McAuliff, reference to No King's Day and its correlation with St. Patty's Day. All those letters can be read on the agenda on the website. Under reports, receiver taxes, total tax collection as of March 19th, 2026 was $108,934,564.04. And that completes the correspondence and the reports.
Thank you so much, Clerk Wooten. And at this time, we'd just like to welcome and open up for comments on resolutions only. So the resolutions that are in our packet, we have quite many today. And so with that being said, we will be holding once again to our time limit for that. So if you're in the room and you'd like to speak on a resolution, just make your way over to the podium. Please state your name and your burg where you are and where you're from. And then also just be ready. And online, just let us know.
Hi, my name is Lucy Barnes.
Lucy, you want to just pull the mic down a little bit?
Okay, I'm a shorty. My name is Lucy Barnes, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the Long Island Science Centre. I'm a board member of the Long Island Science Centre, and additionally, I've been working on the master plan for Riverhead Town Square since about 2019. I did the first visions for the town square design, and which ultimately started off the process of getting all the grants, which we're so lucky to have now. So I first started working, on the design for the town
You got to
square,
come closer to the mic.
and became very interested in how important the science centre would be as part of this project. So I wanted to start off by thanking you all for your support of the town square and the Long Island Science Centre. But with that in mind, I'm here to say that the Long Island Science Centre really needs your help. The Long Island Science Centre needs buy-in from the town, or else this cannot happen. And I would really hope today that we could take a look at the work that we've done so far. We're ready to build. We have previous approvals. We have funding on place to do this project. We have a great design. We have great community support. We have a wonderful concept for the Science Centre as an economic catalyst for downtown Riverhead. And we've done all of this and raised the grants and financial capital to build this project. However, we're called here today because of claims of lack of sufficient progress. In my hand, I have over 90 pages of progress documents and plans and permit applications, correspondence with the town, correspondence with the building department, and coordination with the design team, months and months and months of work, phone calls, meetings, not just within our project, but also meeting with the town square engineers and designers, and also with Joe Petroselli, who's also our general contractor. And we've submitted these documents digitally to the town for record. And we would also love it if you guys could take a look. I know it's quite boring and deep, but this is real solid work here, months and months and months of work. We're about to be submitting our final permit application to the Riverhead town. Obviously, we have to work in step the whole time with the design process for the town square, but we've been in touch with them and we're working exactly in step with them. And this is just a quick snapshot of the progress that absolutely showcases sufficient progress on this project. And I would really appreciate you looking it over, because we have proof here. We have funding in place. Our schedule is currently aligning completely with the Town Square project, and we're ready to start this project. But we know that this can't happen without working with the town and working as partners. And we're really excited to see this project coming to downtown. I know that a lot of the community is as well, and
Lucy, I'm going to have to stop you. You'll
Okay,
have to,
all right.
you can circle
but
back
thank you
if you'd
so
like
much.
to. Yep,
Okay,
you're welcome.
I have this for you. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Alex Lipsky of Lipsky Construction Management. I've been retained as the construction manager for the Long Island Science Center located at 111 East Main Street in Riverhead. I want to first and foremost start off by thanking the board of this town. I had to call at the board of directors of the Long Island Science Center, and they all expressed their sincere gratitude to be working with this town and their passion to bring the Long Island Science Center to Main Street, Riverhead. I'm here to address some of the concerns raised by the town as my position as construction manager. I want to start off by saying that your concerns are valid, but so are the responses by the Long Island Science Center. One of the items that were brought up is in regards to structural capacity. The concerns that the building is not structurally sound, we have a report from a structural engineer stating, and I quote, "The overall structural assessment of the building is that the building is structurally sound." There's concerns, and the town's worried about reports of mold in the building. This is not abnormal. We are getting testing done. We will address these if they do exist during the construction phase, if they do exist. The schedule. The town is worried that this project will not align with the town square project. I myself have had calls with the town civil engineer and the project civil engineer next door to the town's project. I've aligned our project to their project, and the schedules align. We will have the same delivery date. If the town is looking to give this building to another developer, the delivery of that speculative development is years away and will never align with the town square project. Working with the Long Island Science Center is the path to shared success, both with the Science Center and with the town's project. The storm drainage. There's reports of sewage out of the building into the rear lot. I have confirmed that the toilets are capped. There is no toilets. This is not sewage. We did scope this area, and we found a storm water basin that is broken, damaged by others. The Science Center did not cause this, but the Science Center is not abandoning this issue. The Science Center is putting together a plan for submission, waiting for building permits to mitigate this issue. This does require feedback from the town square project and coordination with the town. Assistance on schedule. The town's concerns about no activity are reasonable from an outside perspective. We understand. The board just presented over 90 pages of correspondence showing positive progress. I've witnessed hundreds of emails, proposals, contracts, engineers, consultants, contractors, a $116,000 new roof that was just put on the building. We hope showing the town this positive progress, they will gain the support of the town board. This is critical. The town is needed for approval of the site, the civil, the building permit, the inspections. This project does not move forward without the town's support, and the Long Island Science Center knows that. We have the financing, we have the team, we need the town. The Long Island Science Center is here asking you for your help. Please, and thank you very much for your time.
Do we have any online? 3.
Hi, Cindy Clifford. I'm here as a concerned and interested resident in the town of Riverhead. First, I'd like to clear up some mischaracterizations that have been made regarding the Science Center. First, yes, it was listed for sale early on, but it was done at the prompting of a town official who encouraged selling the property with the caveat of a lease-back clause. Second, the Science Center didn't replace a roof without permits. It was not a replacement, but a repair, for which permits are not required, and given the times that other businesses have made famously reconfigured and expansions without proper or any permits, but ultimately were forgiven, that seems like a rather weightless grievance. Third, the continuous reference to the building's deterioration as though it's a strong wind away from a pile of rubble. As referenced by Mr. Lipsky, it ignores the assessment by Ralph Pacifico, the licensed professional engineer, that the building is structurally sound. Fourth, that there has been no communication from the team, and the delays rest entirely on the shoulders of the board. Ms. Barnes brought that up. Fifth, that anyone believes that residents do not want the Science Center downtown. In truth, it's my belief that the majority of residents do, and certainly 1,000,000 times more than another 5-story apartment building shadowing Main Street. It is true that residents do not want our tax dollars wasted or frittered away, so it's very disappointing to hear a proposal of, again, bankrolling outside counsel, this time to pursue eminent domain. At its purchase, and again 11 months ago, the Science Center has been heralded as the jewel of the downtown revitalization, as a main attraction, as a foot traffic magnet, finally pulling visitors west from the aquarium, as a bankable and marketable asset. Where is the town support now? The Science Center has gotten money from the state, the county, but not its hometown, yet Riverhead is granting funds to other groups and organizations that all have something good to offer. Certainly there are more people with kids than there are hockey players around, yet the town spent who knows how much on a hockey rink, paying to install parking lots, build bathrooms, and even committing to paying its utility bills for years to come. Our town provides space to East End Arts, and until recently retained ownership but handed over management to a nonprofit at the Vale Levitt. What makes one nonprofit more deserving than another? Why not a partnership? Why not work together to get this to the finish line? Define the necessary steps, agree on what needs to be done and on time frame. Supervisor Halpin's already gotten the team to commit to providing updates at every work session. It's not like the rest of the downtown construction's going to be done real soon. The way I see it, we have some time. Before you sign the contracts and bankroll a legal team, would it be that unreasonable to set a deadline 6 or 8 months from now? What is the rush? Why not at least consider giving the Science Center time to expand their board, secure more funding, and follow through with whatever they need to do to completion? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we have 3 online, so we're going to pull up the first one, and somebody else makes their way in the room here. So don't forget all those wonderful announcements while we're pulling up our Zoom. All the great stuff that's going on in our town this week. You can check out our different websites. Mr. McCullough, if you could wait, I believe we're pulling up. There you go.
Given my slow movement.
One. Thank you very much. Ms. O'Brien, you are with us. If you can hear us and you can speak. Ms. O'Brien, I'm not sure if you can hear us. We cannot hear you, though.
Can you hear me?
We can now. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I guess I'm technologically challenged. I'm speaking in regards to the Science Center. I, like many, support it. I'm going to ask some tough questions to all you board members if you vote for this and an affirmative action to proceed, because these questions need to be answered to the taxpayers. Where will the money come from to acquire the building? Will we have to take out a ban, another bond anticipation note? The initial acquisition costs of buildings to build the town square was $4,917,642.54. The demolition and improvement costs were $1,077,542.03. We still have an outstanding ban, of $2,625,000 on 127 East Main that I assume will be paid off when the closing with Mr. Petroselli's company happens, if it happens and when. Do we have a date for that closing? Do you have a pro forma budget for the costs associated with the acquisition, including legal fees, abstract costs, architects, etc.? What are your plans for the property? More apartments, condos? If it is acquired and you proceed with this, will you commit to an open bidding process if your intent is to sell it and not use it for green space for the good of the taxpayers? At this time, can any of you up there tell the taxpayers what the final cost of the town square will be and how much of it will have to be bonded and paid for and borne on the shoulders of the taxpayers? Each and every one of you needs to have a concrete plan in place before you act. This town has been embarrassed enough by inaction. Don't continue on that path. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. McCullough, if you're ready. Thank you for your comments, Ms. O'Brien.
John McAuliff, Roanoke Landing. I have comments on 2 resolutions, and I may just get through one of them now, and I'll come back later with a second. This is also on 327 on the question of the Science Center location on Main Street. And I've read the resolution, which says that the town attorney is authorized to negotiate upon town board approval, is authorized to execute any agreements to effectuate the purchase or acquisition of the property. This comes out obviously of a very intense conversation in the work session. I'd hate to be legally on the other side of Miss Merrifield. She did a very pointed job, a prosecutor's job, about the failures of the current planning or process of the Science Center. But my question is that larger discussion going to come up for a public hearing? Or do you think that this language allows you to go ahead to eminent domain? So that's just a specific question. In the terms of the process, will there be a public hearing to discuss moving into eminent domain on the Science Center space? The second question is whether people have in their back pockets or in their imaginations the alternative occupier of the space. Whether, I hate to be too suspicious about this, but whether this is now an extended Petroselli project or you have someone else who would be prepared to go in. There was, remember, an original design that talked about that space as a 4-story building and different kinds of facilities than the Science Center. And I'd be interested in knowing what those discussions, where they are privately or semi-publicly. And finally, if you go ahead and eminent domain it and get the property, I think that you should have a discussion with Mr. Petroselli about moving his hotel into that space, because it would have several virtues. It's still, I would rather not have any hotel in that space, no more 5-story buildings, but at least over there it would not block out the vision of the East End Arts Center spaces, these historic buildings that are now going to be hidden behind the hotel. And moving it slightly to the west would not have as an imposing an effect and minimization of the Suffolk Theater. So if you do get to the point of eminent domain, reconsider the Petroselli hotel space. At any rate, I'll come back afterwards for my second resolution.
Thank you, sir. Well, we have one online, and so we'll be taking them. Putting them up online. Mr. Herrera, can you hear us? Oh, there you are.
Yes, good afternoon. First of all, I want to say that I was completely shocked and dismayed by the spectacle of board members attacking the hard-working, dedicated volunteers of the Science Center. And I was taken aback by Councilwoman Merrifield's reference to fool me once, fool me twice, don't fool us again. And fortunately, you didn't butcher it like George W. Bush. But I'd like to give another adage some reference today. It's the town attacking the Science Center is like the pot calling the kettle black. The town should know full well of the timing difficulties, financing difficulties of proceeding with any project. And I know because I was able to take a look at the CDA's files regarding the Town Square project, and there is at least a $10 million deficit in funding for the Town Square project. And I suspect that deficit is probably substantially more because the analysis of the cost dating back years have probably doubled or tripled. So my question is, with the town consistently breaching the tax cap, with a tax hike of 7 or 9% last year, years of going beyond the tax cap, and a town's assessor that continues to drop the ball on multiple assessments, costing taxpayers millions and millions of dollars. Where in the world is the millions of dollars to purchase this property coming from? And I want to also remind you, because I'm a property rights guy, this project, this property is private property. You have no right to insist that this developer, this owner, donate his property in order to benefit the project for one of the Riverhead GOP's biggest campaign donors. In my view, that's a quid pro quo. It's outrageous. This entire town square project is a joke. You need to abandon it now and use the opportunity to create green space for the taxpayers of our town, not to benefit a private developer who's a friend and family member of the Riverhead GOP. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera, for your comments. Anyone else online? Nope.
Afternoon, Claudette Bianco, Baiting Hollow. I'm not going to talk about the Science Center.
Which resolution?
Resolution.
A resolution, it's related to this, but not exactly, 284 and 285 about the dump truck and upfitting, whatever that means. I guess
Yeah, it does have to
updating
pertain,
or something.
It does have to pertain to the resolution, so it does, right?
It does, kinda.
What resolution?
284,
Is there
284,
any
285.
way the town could consider a piece of equipment to purchase, and please forgive my ignorance, this is not my field, but I understand that there is a piece of equipment, or maybe it's a truck in and of itself, that follows the trucks that clear the snow. The town did a phenomenal job clearing the snow, especially those two enormous storms. But what happens, and we understand what you're doing, you're widening the roads and you're dumping the snow onto sometimes already clean driveways. There is a piece of equipment that follows the truck that clears the snow in the road that comes out and actually clears people's apron at the end of your driveway. They use them in states really far north where they get much more snow. I have no idea how much it costs. I have no idea about what it's called, but could the town look into something like that? Because we have more and more senior citizens, and while dump trucks are important and pieces of equipment are, necessary, that would really benefit the residents and the taxpayers enormously. Because I gotta tell you, I don't do it anymore. I pay somebody, but my next door neighbor did it, spent hours, and then the truck came and put a 4-foot wall at the end of our driveways. And that something like this would be money well spent for the taxpayers. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. We have one online. Okay.
Grass. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Can, yes, ma'am.
Hi there, Talkie Church and Greater Calverton Civic Association. There's our logo up there. Just wanted a quick clarification offered for the correspondence that was read at the beginning of the meeting. Our letter, which, thank you, is in the packet, refers to an invitation to Suffolk County Water Authority CEO, Mr. Szabo, not to our Civic. It is to Riverhead. It's an answer to the call to action, Supervisor, that you gave to us at a town board meeting.
Yes, ma'am. I don't mean to cut you off, but does this have to do with a resolution, or is this, because we can do this during open comments? I just want to make sure we're following. I'm sorry.
That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, you want to make sure, okay, so it was misspoken, then it said it was.
She was clarifying my misstatement.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was just a mistake. Yes, he'll correct it? Yes, sir.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Takwi. Thank you very much. Anybody else online? Nope. Are you, again? Mr. McCullough. Thank you, sir.
John McAuliff, Roanoke Landing. This is on resolutions 295 to 301, which have to do with the reappointment of members to the anti-bias task force. And it's with no objection to any of those appointments, but with reference to the considerable discussion in the media about the conflict between the former director and the representative of the board to the task force. I hope that there is some internal discussion that recognizes, first, that this whole event has indicated the need for an anti-bias task force that does have independence and some autonomy, that in a way, I don't know if it's even correct to say that all committees are essentially creatures of the board, but that's a different legal and governmental issue. What I'm saying is very specifically, this is not the first institution in which an anti-bias task force kind of entity goes into conflict with the authority of the body that it's dealing with. And that I think that it would probably be very healthy. I hope that there would be an extended discussion both amongst you privately and in a work session at least of this history that in which Mr. McLaughlin is part of that discussion, and that there be consideration, given this history, that perhaps Ms. Merrifield should step aside as being the board liaison. Perhaps the supervisor himself could take that role because of the special sensitivity of this, and also that you invite Mr. McLaughlin to return to the task force and his role as chairman of it. Let me just say, since I still have half a minute, that going back to my original intervention, I hope that you table, I wasn't explicit, you should table that resolution concerning the purchase, or at least make clear what the future process will be before you adopt the resolution. Thank you.
Mr. McCullough? Do we have anyone else online? Or anyone else in our room that would like to speak? Before we move to resolutions, I would like to address the anti-bias task force that has been quite the subject. That our liaison will be staying put. I will be interacting with that group and be at their next meeting if hopefully it's on my schedule and being able to be there. We'll be reviewing the mission of that group together, and we'll be growing from this as a board, as a community, and together. And so I'm absolutely confident that we can grow through this and we can represent our town and community together throughout. So I think Riverhead's one of its strengths is out of all the stuff that we do, we come together and we figure out a way. And with our hiccups and hurdles that we face, we're overcomers. And so I think that's a time for us to show that on this leadership board. And I've had a conversation with Councilwoman Merrifield, and I'm confident in that. And so we'll be working together to bring that to healing. Also like to just address, if anybody else has anything, please just cut me off. But I'd also like to address the Long Island Science Center.
I'd just like to say
Yes,
that
ma'am.
in our conversation, I never discussed about changing or modifying the organization.
Oh, no, I'm not changing it.
Okay.
No, I didn't say that. I said we're going to review the things that just what you and I looked at together. So that's what that we had gone over and make sure that they're aware of where that group is going. So
I just gave you the legislation that's from 2021 that says that the town board supersedes any bylaws that were in that particular committee.
Right. Yep, absolutely, Denise. Look forward to that. And with the Long Island Science Center, I did call them to a work session 2 Thursdays ago, and it was for that path to shared success or path together. And within that, and so I've been listening. And so, our taxpayers do deserve answers. And that was the reason to bring them there to accountability. And with my fellow board members, I understand the passion and the exerting and kind of where you feel like you are. I guess I just feel like maybe I've been asking the question of myself since those last 2 meetings. I wish this would have happened last year, the accountability every month in the work sessions from last April when the condemnation was superseded once. We find ourselves back in that situation again. And so it is a tough situation that we're all put into because of that. So understandably, I just wanted to make those statements. And so I don't know if anybody else has anything. If not, Mr. Wooten, if you lead us to our resolutions.
Ready to start all those resolutions? Okay, we're going to start with resolution number 1, which is 268.
Water District Capital Project 82605, National Grid Hydrant Relocation for Mill Road Budget Adoption. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
That. Second. That motion, it won't let me pass it right. That motion is adopted. Motion 269. Resolution 269.
Water District Capital Project 82303, budget adjustment. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 270.
Capital Project 44038, downtown alleyway lighting enhancement closure. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes, sir.
That resolution is adopted. Resolution 271.
Adopts budget adjustment for Town Hall Capital Project number 62204. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
That resolution is adopted. Resolution 272.
Budget adoption for capital project number 72606, River and Roots Playground Rehabilitation. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 273.
Budget adjustment for new sign purchase for East End Arts Council. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 274.
Budget adjustment for Justice Court 2025 through 2026, JCAP grant funds. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 275.
Ratifies budget adjustment for 2025 audit of CDA EPCAL by PKF O'Connor Davies LLP. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 276.
Approved sewer district request for change order number 1 related to the contract S203 to 213 East Main Street sewer improvements. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 277.
Approved sewer district request for change order number 2 related to contract S 203-213 East Main Street sewer improvements. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 278.
Accepts donation of ice cream cakes for Senior Center 2026. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 279.
Accepts donation from Riverhead Building Supply for PAL. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, and thank you.
Rothwell?
Yes, and thank you.
And Halpin?
Yes, and thank you.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 280.
Accepts donation from William J. Pomeroy Foundation for the purchase of a historic marker. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes, and thank you.
Halpin?
Great stuff. Thank you. Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 281.
Amends resolution number 2026-69. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 282.
Authorizes the Police Department to apply for funding. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 283.
Sets the fees for the 2026 Spring Summer Brochure. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Yes.
And Halpin?
Yes.
Resolution's adopted. Resolution 284.
Authorizes purchase of Kenworth tandem axle dump truck. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution's adopted. Resolution 285.
Authorizes purchase of uplift of 2025 Kenworth dump truck. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 286.
Authorizes purchase of Freightliner chassis for a mounted sander for Highway Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 287.
Authorizes employees to attend International Association of Arson Investigators Conference. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 288.
Ratifies the salary adjustment of a senior assessment clerk. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 289.
Ratifies the reclassification of an automotive equipment operator to heavy equipment operator. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution's adopted. Resolution 290.
Appoints a call-in park attendant to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution's adopted. Resolution 291.
Appoints a call-in park attendant to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 292.
Appoints a call-in assistant recreation leader to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 293.
Appoints a call-in recreation leader to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 294.
Appoints Charles Thomas to the Suffolk County Working Waterfront Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes. Thanks, Chuck.
Halpin.
This is a great thing that's happening in our county. Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 295.
Reappoints Marjorie Acevedo to the Anti-Bias Task Force. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution
She's sitting
number
here for the record.
296.
Oh,
Reappoints Roberto Ramos to the Anti-Bias Task Force. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 297.
Reappoints Patrice Stokely to the Anti-Bias Task Force. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 298.
Reappoints Harley Abrams to the Anti-Bias Task Force. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 299.
Reappoints Salam Masad to the Anti-Bias Task Force. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 300.
Reappoints Tom Nijon to the Anti-Bias Task Force. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 301.
Reappoints Connie Lysandro to the Anti-Bias Task Force. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 302.
Appoints William
Zalakar.
to the Business Advisory Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 303.
Reappoints Martin Sinlewski to the Parking District Advisory Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 304.
Ratifies name change of the Inclusion Task Force Advisory Committee to the Town of Riverhead Disability Advisory Committee. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 305.
Appoints Joe Oliver to the Parking District Advisory Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 306.
Reappoints Ike Israel to the Parking District Advisory Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 307.
Appoints Georgia Malone to the Parking District Advisory Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 308.
Appoints Peggy Zaneski to the Parking District Advisory Committee. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 309.
Appoints Steve Almerl to the Parking District Advisory Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 310.
Appoints Sean Kenna to the Parking District Advisory Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 311.
Appoints Connie Lysandro to the Parking District Advisory Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 312.
Appoints Steve Salato to the Parking District Advisory Committee. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 313.
Ratifies the resignation of an automotive equipment operator. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 314.
Ratifies the resignation of a part-time bilingual office assistant. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 315.
Ratifies the resignation of a Water District Maintenance Crew Leader. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 316.
Ratifies the termination of an employee. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 317.
Ratifies the appointment of a hearing officer and suspension of an employee. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution's adopted. Resolution 318.
Terminates LOA and ratifies the reappointment of a part-time police officers. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
I got to be at Tyler, Gavin, and Ryan's graduation and wish them the best of luck here. They're going to do great on our force, and yes, absolutely.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 319.
Ratifies authorization for the Community Development Department to apply for a grant. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolutions adopted. Resolution 320.
Authorizes release of performance bond for Birchwood Major Subdivision, Section 3. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
and Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolutions adopted. Resolution 321.
Cancels letter of credit posted by Kevin Rempe Plumbing and Heating Corp. for drain layer in the town of Riverhead Sewer District. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 322.
Amends Riverhead Water District schedule of rates and charges. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 323.
Amends resolution number 2025-209, building division fees. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
and Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 324.
Awards bid for propane fuel and equipment maintenance. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 325.
Rejects bid for charter buses. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 326.
Amends Resolution 2026-185, adopted on February 18th, 2026, Brentwood Legion Ambulance Services, Inc., use of the Pine Barrens credits. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
and Halpin.
Yes, sir.
That resolution is adopted. Resolution 327.
Affirms prior authorization for acquisition of property for general municipal purposes located at 111 East Main Street, Riverhead, New York, Suffolk County, tax map number 0600-129-1-11. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes, and I'd just like to make a statement, if I may, regarding this. First and foremost, I support a family-friendly venue on the town square. But unfortunately, the building, 111 East Main Street, is not that. In fact, since 2019, when Suffolk County purchased this, when the Science Center purchased this vacant, blighted, dilapidated building, it never opened up as a science center. Since 2019, it has remained just that, vacant and blighted, for 6 years now. Since 2022, when the Town Square project began, the town has received over $30 million in grants for a downtown revitalization of Riverhead Town, through the fantastic work of our Community Development Agency led by the Director, Dawn Thomas. The Town Square project has two key components to it: economic revitalization of our downtown to help our businesses, to help tourism, and to help our taxpayers. And a second key element, flood mitigation. The projects are moving: the hotel, the playground, the streetscapes, the East End Art projects. Yet, for 6 years, 111 East Main Street has done nothing. From 2022 to today, in 2026, the Science Center has presented over 5 variations of what their plans, what their designs are, but none of it has ever materialized. In fact, it just keeps shrinking. The latest version came last week when it went from 24,000 square feet to 4,000 square feet. Their inaction demonstrates that they are not serious about building the Science Center at this location. Never did they come forward to the planning department with site plan. Never did they actually obtain building permits. Never did they submit plans for floodplain plan compliance. They never sought a contract with the town to purchase easements for the drainage that they would need onto the town square. None of that. They've never submitted anything for streetscapes, which is what they're going to have to do on Main Street to get utility lines underground. Flooding and drainage are very important to this town square project, as noted by Jeff Seaman. And I'd like to read what he had to say on that. He, too, has been waiting to review the Science Center plans so their grading and engineering infrastructure can be integrated into the ongoing development of the hotel, the Town Square Park, and the relocation of the East End Arts buildings. Without this information, this is Mr. Seaman, without this information, we lack verifiable flood control. He agrees with me and other members of the town board that it is imperative that action is necessary to meet the SECRA requirements to achieve flood control, which is now at a critical juncture due to the master developer's ongoing site development along the riverfront. Yet the owners and the board of the Science Center have still, as of right now, have never done any of this. It's important because we do have a responsibility to the taxpayers. We have a responsibility that be a place of activation, not inaction and blight. That vacant building does nothing in the last 6 years to help the store owners down there, to help our tax base. They could have done improvements to that since 2019, yet they never did. They didn't have to wait for the Town Square project to make this a wonderful science center. They could have been starting as early as 2019. They showed no proof of actually building. And my position is they have no credibility left with regard to their promise to build. Just last year, in April of 2025, exactly a year ago, they came to the town board when we were about to do the condemnation proceeding then. And they basically begged us to let this go on, we promised 10 times, and I ask everybody to take a look at that work session video. I counted at least 10 times that there were assurances that they would have that building open and built in the summer of 2025. That came and went, and a year later, we had to call them back in here. In April of 26, an entire year later, they were still not open. In fact, the only location that the Science Center has been open, or was open, was at the Tanger Mall, and that was not open. And there's been a position in the town, someone had commented, that the Science Center is a place where everyone will come and this would guarantee this will be activated. Well, the Science Center is located in Tanger and no one's coming there. That place is only open supposedly by appointment. So that doesn't show any activation to me. And I look at the last 6 years, not just the last year, the last 6 years, and I see nothing being done there. I look at, and they offered no explanations last week. They offered no apologies, just a different plan once again. I do see a big change, though. I do see one very big difference this year. Last year, they assured us they had the money. This year, it became very evident that they don't. Not only is there a mechanics lien on the property now for $13,000 and $13,500, there is also a Jumpstart lien. A Jumpstart grant that is going to expire this June. Those are reimbursement grants. There is no way that that Science Center is going to spend the money to be reimbursed $1 million by June. Those are huge problems financially for them. I have no confidence that they are going to be able to make that plan on the Town Square project a reality. As for the taxpayers, I just want everybody to realize that in 2019 that was purchased and became a not-for-profit organization, that building pays pennies in taxes. If that were a regular commercial property on Main Street, they would have paid, from 2019 to 2026, $340,000 to the town of Riverhead in taxes. They don't pay that. It gets to sit vacant and blighted. And in the year alone, in 2026, if they had been a regular commercial business on Main Street, they would have owed the town $47,000.96. In reality, because they are not-for-profit, they'll pay $1,000, 313 cents. So when people talk about the taxpayers, I want you to realize that that is something to take into consideration, what that vacant blighted building there at our town square is doing to our tax base. They're in no rush. They're in no rush because they're not paying any taxes on that building. It's supposed to be a science center guaranteed to pull people into the heart of downtown, yet, as I just said, that's not happening because it doesn't even happen over at Tanger. We've given them 6 years. Last year was the year we were going to say we have to go forward with condemnation, and we gave them an extension then, and we got nothing done just more changes in the plans. The town has a right to expropriate private property for public use. The public use here is our town square project. That is very important to the town. We can take private property for public use with payment. We don't take it without compensation, with payment, compensation, and we will be compensating a vacant, blighted, dilapidated building. Our town needs our downtown revitalization for all of our commercial enterprises on Main Street and downtown, for all of our taxpayers. We've invested a great deal with regard to grant money that we have received and town money to make this a beautiful town square park that's going to help our tourism, help our tax base, and we can't let this particular individual or board hold that process up any longer. That particular location, as Ms. Barnes had said, she was involved in this initially, in the project of the Town Square project. The Science Center was supposed to be a placemaker for activation. It is not that. It has never been that. And I don't think it ever will be on our town square. It will definitely not be that on the town square. I wish them well, and I hope you the best, because it's a great idea. It's just never materialized. So for that reason, I vote yes.
Kern.
Yeah, I'll try to be brief. I want to thank Alex and Lucy for coming up. I also want to thank Jordan Rogrove, the architect, who was on last week. I believe a lot of stuff was not heard from what you guys said. I'm really happy to hear that you have restructured the board and that you are moving forward. And I see this as an absolute placemaker in all the economic studies I've done. This is a huge one. So for me, this is an absolute yes. I mean, I know I'm not voting for this, excuse me. The Science Center is an absolute yes. This resolution is an absolute no. Thank you.
Rothwell?
So, 5 years ago, I sat down with Larry Oxman, and I was thrilled to see the plans that were initially put forth. I said earlier on, it was like our own Smithsonian Museum coming to Riverhead. It was an absolute asset to the town square, and it's what the town square was built and designed around. And it was a necessary component at the time and to create an activation space. That was 5 years ago. And each year, the communications seemed to slip away. The designs became less and less. And as we sit here today, constant change of the designs, no architectural drawings, no engineering drawings, no easement applications, no funding, it seems, available. It is an unsafe structure. There's been no building applications filed. It's been off the tax rolls. There's no flood mitigation, and just basically, ultimately, no communications until last week. I believe in the Science Center, and I love what they do. I took my children there, and it was thrilling for my kids when they were younger. But the building that we're talking about is not the Science Center. It is a dilapidated building downtown. The Science Center has some time ago moved up to the Tanger Mall, and that's where it is, and that's where it operates out of. And so I have said that this building downtown is not the Science Center. It is a building that needs a major overhaul. And as an elected official, it's the last thing that we ever want to do is take eminent domain over anybody's independent ownership private property. But there are things that we are obligated to do, and that is for the safety of the children that may gather in the town square and around a playground, unsafe mold coming from the building, water flowing from the back of the building. We are expending millions of taxpayer dollars to build this town square for these matching grants, and we're not doing our due diligence by not completing the entire project as a whole. And this is essentially half the component, or at least a third of what the town square is. And we are responsible to every business downtown, and we've been promising them for 5 years we've been working on this. And for 5 years we were telling them, hang on, relief is coming, the town square we will fill the streets, we will fill the restaurants, we will fill the stores. And this component has never come to reality. It's been a pipe dream all along. But that's not what makes me say, oh, we should go ahead with condemnation. What I'm specifically torn about is that the fact that it is an unsafe structure. It needs a complete overhaul, and I don't see that the current Science Center has the funding to do that. I do wish them the best of luck. Perhaps in this is condemnation that we can get a fair market value for them, and perhaps they can utilize that funding to change their business module. I don't want to lose the Science Center. I hope that they will find a place downtown and become active, and perhaps in the smaller schematics of what they have seem to be more talking about recently in a smaller 4,000 square foot, that they can find an appropriate place and still be part of our downtown and part of our revitalization. But it would be a shame, and it would be inappropriate for us to build a town square and have this building remain there as dilapidated, as an unsafe structure adjacent to a public gathering space. And so with those thoughts in mind, I regrettably, but I feel that it is necessary to vote yes on this resolution to move forward for the general safety and welfare of our residents.
And Halpin.
So just to reiterate, when I called the Science Center here 2 weeks ago, it was to find a path to shared success. I still believe in that. I believe in all of our businesses downtown need a path to shared success. I believe these have been, as I've reiterated about other things, out of tough conversations need to come solutions. We need to sit down. I wish we would have tabled this and had them back in on Thursday. They are on the work session schedule. Again, I asked this board, we were at condemnation last year. I understand the frustration, but anybody could have called them in at any work session throughout that time period and asked them. When I brought them in, then it seemed like immediately we moved to this. I understand again that there's frustration and things haven't been moving along. So with all of that in mind, I went back and I thought about it and I looked at everything. We also are putting a burden back on the taxpayers of our town by having to fund this until we can sell it again. And then, we're paying outside counsel. I'm looking at a deficit of this year already of our budget. And we're trying to make sure that we can pay our employees and lower our tax burden. So with all of those things, I'm going to vote no. No, I do not move to take eminent domain.
I'd just like to add one thing if I can. And I'm sorry that I think you should supply all those 90 pages that you have to the press. So the press is aware of what's gone on. I'm also aware that the town, when the mold was being remediated, the town put a stop work order on that, which I could not figure that out. So if we caused any damage there, that's on us. But I would like you to submit all that to the press. Thank you.
I would just like to reiterate that we have waited a whole year. The Science Center came to us a year ago and begged and said, please give us a chance. And we did that. And it got us nowhere. And we can't keep dragging this out. This is bad for our downtown. It's a bad look. It's hurting the businesses down there. And I know that I read some comments online that there's a fear that there's going to be apartments put on that property, and I can assure you that I have not heard of any such plans, and I would not support those plans either. I promise you that. I would like to see something that is family-orientated, something great for our town, and I think that in time we'll be able to do that, and our downtown is going to be vibrant and a place that people are going to want to come and bring their families. But how it is now, that is not the downtown that I vision for the future. So my vote was to support moving forward and giving Riverhead and downtown a chance.
That resolution is adopted. Resolution number 328.
Resolution to clarify an action pursuant to SECRA, assume lead agency, issue negative declaration, and approve funding for Wading River Highway Garage, subject to permissive referendum and bond authorization. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski.
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 329.
Chapter 229, application for excavation and exportation of materials for Kathy Lane LLC, subdivision 84-2-2.1. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolutions adopted. Resolution 330.
Resolution calling for a public hearing regarding a capital improvement for the extension of facilities of the Riverhead Water District Summer Wind Farm subdivision for a water main extension at the property known as Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-86-2-8.2 in Aquabog, New York. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 331.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post public notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 273 of the Riverhead Town Code titled Solid Waste, Article 5, General Provisions applicable, to solid waste for all properties and uses. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolutions adopted. Resolution 332.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 279 of the Riverhead Town Code titled Taxation, Article 8, Exemption for the volunteer firefighters and volunteer ambulance workers. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 333.
Adopts a local law to amend Chapter 217 of the Riverhead Town Code titled Building, Construction and Improvements, and Housing Standards, Article 1, Administration and Enforcement. So moved. Is that Article I or 1, Eric? And that one?
Article 1.
Okay, I got it right. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 334.
Adopts a local law to amend Chapter 289 of the Riverhead Town Code titled Vehicle, Traffic, and Parking Regulations, Article 4, Parking, Standing, and Stopping. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolutions adopted. Resolution 335.
Adopts a local law to amend Chapter 231 of the Riverhead Town Code titled Fire Prevention, Article 3, Administration. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 336.
Adopts a local law to amend Chapter 231 of the Riverhead Town Code titled Fire Prevention, Article 27, Tenancy Permits. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 337.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a license agreement with Celtic Quest, Inc., 2026. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Okay, I'm going to prove that I'm Irish here and tell you that it's Celtic.
Okay, Celtic. Sorry,
Yes.
Quest. Sorry, Celtic Quest.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yeah, so I think the things were addressed in here from the Jamesport Civic Association. We did raise their fee. It is a less busy part of the month up there, and the additional funds do help out with the recreation department, so I vote yes.
And Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 338.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with Seed Clam Administrator. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 339.
Authorize supervisor to execute early voting polling place agreement with Suffolk County Board of Elections for Riverhead Town Hall. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 340.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute professional services agreement with H2M for sanitary improvements at Town Square splash pad. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolutions adopted. Resolution 341.
Authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with the County of Suffolk Office for the Aging, AAA Transportation Program 2026. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
and Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 342.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a short-term runway use agreement for Racetrack Not Streets 2026 Spring Fling at EPCAL. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Ready for Saturday, yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Adoption. Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 343.
Authorize supervisor to sign a professional service agreement with Smalley Engineering PC. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 344.
Ratifies authorization with the town attorney to execute a retainer agreement with Siegel and Zittler at PLLC. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Rick, what's this in reference to, the condemnation?
So this was Phil Siegel already represents us on one of the cannabis retail shop
Oh, no,
cases.
then it has nothing to do with the condemnation. Or does it?
It does not have anything to do with
Okay.
condemnation. No.
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 345.
Ratifies authorization for supervisor to sign an addendum to consultant professional services agreement with Joan Modern. I got your name right. How do you say it?
Modern.
You got it right then. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Thanks for helping out, Joan. Yes.
and Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution number that resolution is adopted. Resolution number 346.
Ratifies the authorization for the supervisor to execute an agreement with the County of Suffolk Department of Probation, Stop DWI Program 2026. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 347.
Ratifies the approval of special event Chapter 255 application for Clifton Park Rental Tractor Supply Season Sale. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 348.
Approve special event, Chapter 255, application for Halleckville Museum Farm, Felice and Fiber Festival. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 349.
Approve special event Chapter 255 application for Wading River Shore Chamber of Commerce Fall Festival. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes, it's turning out great each year.
Kern,
Yes, it's a fantastic event.
Rothwell,
Yes, absolutely. Awesome.
and Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 350.
Approve special event Chapter 255 application for the Duck Pond Society, Duck Pond Day. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes, more happening in Wading River.
I
Kern,
was going to say.
Yes.
Rothwell,
More happening in Wading River. Yes.
and Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 351.
Approve special event Chapter 255 application for Long Island Antique Power Association Tractor Pulls and Shows. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes to another great event in Riverhead.
Rothwell,
Yes.
and Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 352.
Approve special event, Chapter 255, application for Race Awesome, Jamesport Triathlon. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 353.
Approve special event Chapter 255 application for the American Cancer Society Making Strides Against Cancer of Eastern Long Island Walk. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 354.
Approve special event Chapter 255 application for the New York Marine Rescue Center paddle battle. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 355.
Approve special event Chapter 255 application for Foodie Fest Productions LLC Foodie Fest. Is that a 1 or a
Yeah, one.
Number one.
number 1-2026? So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
That resolution is adopted. Resolution number 356.
Pays the bills. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 357.
Riverhead Highway Barn Bond Authorization Resolution, April 2026. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes, sir.
Resolution is adopted. The next resolution is a tabled resolution from earlier in February.
That's is that 277?
That's 227.
227, sorry.
This was a
That's you,
tabled
Bob?
one?
Oh, somebody's gonna.
Is that word 33? We're doing the tabled one?
Rehire?
So 2026-227 would be on the table right now.
Oh, it's me?
Rehires and set salaries for recreation personnel.
Right.
That was that tabled?
That was tabled.
Yeah.
It was previously
Yeah, 'cause it
tabled.
We have to-
was
227.
So there would be,
Okay.
there would need to be a motion to untable, and then it would need to
Untable
be
this?
seconded.
Okay. I want to untable resolution 227, rehires and set salaries for various call-in recreation personnel for 2026.
So that's a motion to untable.
Yep.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Vote to untable?
Yes.
Woski,
Yes to untable.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes to one table.
and Halpin.
Yes to untable.
Resolution is untabled.
I'll make the
Now it's before the board needs to be moved and seconded before you take action on it.
Let's read it.
rehires and set salaries for various call-in recreation personnel for 2026. So moved.
Yes, second.
Vote, please.
Okay, let me change that to current. Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
and Halpin.
Yes, sir.
That resolution is,
So I have another resolution to untable, which is Resolution 254, authorizes the supervisor to execute a non-binding project scope letter to PSENG for the redevelopment of 1129 West Main Street, Riverhead, New York, known as the Perkins Building. So moved.
Seconded.
I am
So
absolutely
it's a
lost.
vote to
You
untable.
have to vote to untable.
What resolution is that?
It was,
2026-254 to untable.
You made a motion on table it, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
And
Denise
Denise,
seconded.
I just want to make sure
seconded.
Jim is good. Are you ready, Jim?
no.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Woski,
Yes to untable.
Merrifield,
Yes to untable.
Kern,
Yes to untable.
Rothwell,
Yes to untable.
and Halpin.
Yes to untable.
That resolution is untabled and live.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a non-binding project scope letter to PSENG for the redevelopment of 1129 West Main Street, Riverhead, New York, known as the Perkins Building. So moved.
Seconded.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
and Halpin.
I just want to know where the funding is going to come for this down the road.
Well,
That's what my
it's
question is.
non-binding, and once we look at the agreement with PSCNG, we'll see where the funding sources are. If they're not there, the project doesn't move forward.
Okay. Well, with that in mind, then I vote yes.
Okay, that resolution,
We gotta pull this off the
Is another
floor.
one?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
okay, that was adopted. We have two off the floor also, right?
Sir.
358 will be the Suffolk County application for grant, and 359 would be the professional service agreement for Lori Hills, I believe.
Clerk, can you
give
say that again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 358 will be the resolution for the county application for grant funding, and 359 will be the authorization for the supervisor to enter into agreement with the Honorable Lori Hills.
Thank you.
So,
So Denise reads 350.
You want me to read the next one?
Okay.
sure, if you want to make the
Okay.
motion off,
Okay.
let's make the motion off the
Yes.
floor.
I make a motion,
Okay. Full resolution 358.
358, resolution to support the County of Suffolk application for grant funding under New York State Environmental Bond Act for the preservation as open space of property commonly known and described as Venezia Square, Wading River, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-73-1-lots 1.4, 1.16, 1.17, 1.18, and 1.19. I move to take this off the floor.
Second.
Vote, please, to move it off the floor.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Halpin.
Yes.
Resolution is off the floor.
Okay, again, resolution to support Suffolk County, to support the County of Suffolk application for grant funding under New York State Environmental Bond Act for the preservation as open space of property commonly known and described as Venezia Square, Wading River, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-73-1-lots 1.4, 1.16, 1.17, 1.18, and 1.19. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Wait, you get open comment?
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Mike, that is, thanks, Eric. Does anybody have a comment online, or if you'd like to come up to the podium, just say your name and your hamlet. After 92, I think.
Good afternoon. My name is Donald Miller. I've been a resident in Riverhead for the last 10 years, and I'd like to voice my dissatisfaction with the recent acknowledgement of the $7 million that has been put onto the tax roll.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, would just be on this resolution that's at hand right now. This
Oh,
is not open
sorry.
comment yet. That's okay. Totally understandable, and we'll call you back up in just a second. Thank you. This would just be on the resolution that's coming off the floor to support Suffolk County with a letter of support. That is what this comment period is for.
Hi, my name is Marjorie Acevedo. I'm on the Open Space Committee, and we did do a letter of support to purchase this property. We think it's very advantageous for the residents of Wading River, and also very advantageous for the beautification of the entranceway into the town of Riverhead. So we do support this resolution.
Any other comments online or in the room? Okay. So then I'll call for a vote.
Woski,
I would just like to say that I was working with legislator Catherine Stark about this property during her time in office, and I'm very happy to see this resolution here before us today. Any kind of land preservation, farmland preservation, open space is such a good thing for the town. So I thank Catherine Stark for putting this in motion, and our Open Space Committee, and that's a yes from me.
okay, Merrifield,
I too would like to thank former legislator Catherine Stark for bringing this forward and helping preserve land in Wading River. Vote yes for me.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
So yes, obviously all of us have been in consulting with legislator Catherine Stark, did a phenomenal job. Because this was really about, over the past few years, this project has continuously come before the planning board, and plans have been, rendered, and it was really taken back from the Wading River residents about another pizzeria or another bank, and it wasn't being embraced as a development project. I always felt that myself being a business person in Wading River, that it was never my place, to prevent somebody from developing, their property in which they own. when Catherine Stark first brought this up about the potential of purchasing the development rights and had the conversations at the Suffolk County Farmland Preservation Committee, it was an absolute home run out of the park. It immediately was embraced by the residents of Wading River. I've gotten countless phone calls. I am going to say, full disclosure, I do own the adjacent property, but but it's just more about the development, as you come in, and it's, we always see Wading River as the gateway to the agricultural community. And there are still vacant stores, in Wading River, and so there was a great fear of another shopping center coming in with potentially vacant stores. And so I think we're doing a great thing. I also more recently met with Legislator Drosky and about potentially having, an area to gather where they can enter on the bike trail is directly across the street. So I would like to see a crosswalk going across Route 25A where residents can potentially have a little place to park and enter on and off the bike trail, and maybe some picnic tables in there, as opposed to just being, it's not really a tree area, it's more of kind of heavy brush and so forth that's in there. And so it has the ability to be a really good entranceway and a nice community spot of gathering in Wading River, which there isn't too many of them up there, especially on Route 25A. So if residents were able to arrive at that spot, park their car, hop on the bike trail across the street and utilize it. You can go all the way to Port Jefferson, come all the way back. And then, of course, we want the bike trail to continue going east as well. And so it really has been a great project. And so I thank everybody moving forward. Again, I did speak to council just because I own the adjacent property. And, but it's, I gain nothing by it, but other than it's a great project for the residents, and I stand by, supporting the residents of Wading River. So I absolutely vote yes.
Halpin.
Love working with the county. Yes, sir.
That resolution is adopted. We have one more off the floor. It'd be resolution number 359.
Authorizes the town supervisor to execute professional services agreement with the Honorable Lori M. Holtz. Make a motion to take this off the floor.
Second.
We need to have any comments on it online or in person?
We got to move it off the floor first.
Oh, move it off the floor. I'm so sorry. I'm like, all right.
We just got to vote on it. Bring it.
Yes, to move off the floor.
Merrifield?
Yes, to take off the floor.
Kern?
Yes, to off the floor.
Rothwell?
Yes, and the reason this needs to come off the floor is that there is nobody adjudicating right now. These are for the anybody that goes through passes the stop school buses. And so I don't want to see tickets continuously be dismissed because we're not, holding them in court. So I never like to take resolutions off the floor. The last one was a timing thing because the county is moving forward. This also, becomes a loss of revenue, and I think we have all continuously, made comments of support for Judge Holtz to do this. And so I think it's just somehow slipped through the cracks, so we're glad to get this going today. So vote yes to take it off the floor.
And Halpin.
Yes. Any comments online? Or anyone in the room would like to speak on this resolution? Okie dokie. So, if you want to go again?
Yep, so, Resolution 2026-359 authorizes the town supervisor to execute professional services agreement with the Honorable Lori M. Holtz. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Lasky?
Yes.
Merrifield?
Yes, and that she serves now, additionally in her role as a town justice, she will now also be an administrative law judge. That's what this particular resolution is regards to. So, yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Rothwell?
Do not pass a stop school bus. Yes.
And Halpin.
Yes.
That resolution is adopted. That concludes,
Whew,
I believe, unless there's something else coming off the floor.
Close to 100.
Today's meeting.
So this time we will move into our open comments from the public. If you have an open comment, again, you will have 3 minutes, and we ask that you adhere to that while we can. And so we do it with one online. So if you just state your name and your hamlet again.
Thank you. My name is Donald Miller. I reside in Riverhead for the last 10 years, and I'm expressing my dissatisfaction with the $7 million lawsuit that's been put upon the taxpayers. Transparency was never, I've been here over 10 years, I've never heard about this until it appeared as a 160% increase in my tax bill, and then the article in the local news. The other part of it is I'd like to know what transparency will be in the ongoing, because there still is a pending lawsuit for the assessment of Friar Tuck between 2018, 2022. And will we be made aware of that, as we were not made aware of the previous? That's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your comments.
Claudette Bianco, Baiting Hollow. I too am disappointed that this town board didn't mention one word, that there was a settlement, and that the enormous, gigantic, stupendous increase in our taxes was coming forth. When you sat here and talked for weeks about a budget, disingenuous to be talking about the police budget and the reason for the increases about a safe town, Mr. Rothwell, when you knew all along this was coming down the pike. And it's my understanding there are many other lawsuits pending that will also be placed on our backs. Not one word of it, no transparency, no information. You guys need to do a better job informing the residents and taxpayers of this town what's coming down the pike. It isn't all roses. And we have to fund those things. And we know that, whether it's with our town taxes or our state taxes or our county taxes. But I would ask this board and the Board of Assessors, who just asked me to step into her office at the end of this meeting, and I will do that, to reevaluate the way you assess property taxes, whether it's residential or business, commercial, because clearly you're not doing a good job. Thank you.
So I'll just follow up.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Again, so again, this is litigation from 2008 to 2015.
Mhm.
It's before any of these members, whoever, any of us, I'm the longest serving
No, I
on the
know.
board, wherever on the board. When we don't do assessments, that is elected officials in the assessor's office that handles that. These was discussed, so to say that it's disingenuous that it was never discussed, it was discussed. We went over many aspects of the budget last year, and we put out pie charts, and we broke down all the different values that were included. There were unknown factors of exactly what the dollar amount was going to be, but we knew there were going to be, surcharges on the bill. And yes, of course, I stand proud of our police and the job they're doing, but I don't know what that has to do with this. We were very clear, but there was an unknown dollar amount that was going on there. And yes, there are other litigation cases.
Mhm.
These are things that this board does not control over.
I understand that.
And so we do our best to inform the public in every way we can, but it's not, we're not the decision makers, and unfortunately, I, resident, just as you, I have to bear that tax increase as well when we lose cases like this. And there are others that are before, the assessors pool where people are, going, I'm trying to think of the proper wording.
Grieving.
Challenging.
Challenging their,
Right.
challenging their tax assessment. And we may win some, we may lose some. I don't know.
I understand.
But we do the best when we do get those results, and we try to notify the public of what the impact will be.
Well, personally, I don't think you did a good job because nobody knew about this till we read the article in the Newsday, which thank you, Tara, for
This
doing
was
that.
on your tax bill that was from, that came out last year. So this was discussed
I understand,
6 months
but
ago.
clearly, the procedures that are used to assess a commercial property need to be reassessed themselves because it's not working. If there are so many lawsuits, and I'm not saying they all win and I don't know the percentage, but clearly if there's a lawsuit, especially one of this magnitude, that's going to come in 1 year, more than 160% increase for one piece of property. And there are others, and this one's not done. There's other lawsuits pending. Just to evaluate the system and the way you assess it.
We don't assess it.
Well, the
At
assessors, the
assessor's
Board of
offices
Assessors,
across the
but
whole-
don't you control the Board of Assessors and the way they do things?
No.
Don't you have
they're
input in
They're
that?
elected officials. The residents of this town elect the town
Do you have
assessors.
input in that process?
Every resident does. You elect your town assessors.
Yeah, I'm about to give some.
Okay.
Thank you, Claudette.
I'd just like to add, if I may also,
Yep, sure.
Ms. LaBianco, I ask you to take a look not just at the town taxes, but I ask you to pay attention to the school board.
I
and
do.
their budget coming up.
I do.
And Ms. Sepaletti did a very nice article last year with regard to the town, with the Riverhead School District. This particular school district, 141 bank transfers totaling 127 million were reviewed and approved by someone other than the treasurer before the transactions took place. None of the 47 budget transferring totaling 12.3 million were approved by the board. So I ask you, when you think about your taxes, don't just think of the town taxes. Again, we're not responsible for the assessor's office, but look at your school taxes and also the library. There is a huge budget increase coming with the library. Those are huge taxes as
Right,
well.
but we get to vote on the library and the school budget. We
know.
don't get to vote on the town budget.
Well, you do, in a sense, in that you do elect individuals on the
Right.
board. But I want you to understand, when you pay your town taxes, there are a lot of other taxes that you're paying.
I do.
That it is not necessarily the town board tax that is increasing so much. It's all of these taxes.
Everything goes up every year, and
But I just want you to understand that huge increases are coming from other areas. It isn't just the town board.
Not as much as the property tax.
But it's unfair to hold us responsible for events from 2008 to
I'm not holding you
2015.
responsible. I'm asking you to reassess the process and be more transparent and more upfront if you know about this coming down the pike to mention it, because I did not hear it, and a lot of other people didn't either. Thank you.
Claudette, just please make sure that you go and speak to the assessors before you
I'm
leave,
going
because
there.
you're going to probably learn a lot from the conversation
hope so.
of, how they do their assessment, how they come up with their figures, and I'm the liaison to the assessors. I was a prior board member for the Board of Assessment Review, and I've seen people come in and grieve their taxes, and the way that they come up with their assessment, it's hard for anybody to grieve them because they are so good at what they do.
No, I'm happy
And
to go in there
I just want to make sure that you do stop.
Absolutely, I will do. Thank you.
And I agree, the assessors, it's a very complicated test what they do. They do a good job. And when I'm carefully looking over this case, I think it was an unfair decision against us. I think the assessments in which they did were much more accurate than what was found through the court, but
Correct.
it's the decision and what we have to deal with.
Yeah, unfortunately, especially with the golf course, it has a specialized valuation method. And in this instance, although it's a championship level luxury private golf course, the valuation method that the judge followed is that of a daily fee course, whereby they capitalize the revenue, which of an average daily fee course, which may not be consistent with this particular layout of a private course that's over 300 acres.
In New York State antiquated laws, they're not looking at this stuff and, this is the great state coming out of Albany. That's, I look at this as they need to look at what's going on, with these public versus private, period.
And Mr. Howard,
A
correct
little
me
bit
if
more complicated, but
I'm sorry. Mr. Howard, correct me if I'm wrong, but also, hasn't the courts, haven't they changed their analysis of this through the years? How they did the valuations on the golf course? Wasn't there litigation that changed the valuations versus upstate versus downstate?
Yes, it can change from time to time, especially with golf courses. They do treat them differently in different areas of the state. And so, it's very difficult for the assessors to land on a correct number here. And another thing that complicated this one was our assessor's belief that there was excess land on this 300-acre site that could be further developed. So that was another aspect of the case that we advocated for, but the judge ultimately didn't accept.
Changing topics. First of all, I just want to say that there are plenty of people in
The
this
name,
town.
do your name again.
Cindy Clifford. I live in Riverhead. I'm speaking as a resident. There are a lot of people in this town who would like to have a committee position, who would like to have a little more input with the town, and it's discouraging to me to see so many names reappointed, particularly a person who doesn't even live here and hasn't lived here in ages. I don't understand. But on topic here, back in 2016, the wife of a town official took to Facebook with a stunningly disturbing and hateful racist post. In response, the town's anti-bias task force called an emergency meeting. This was my first awareness of there being a task force here, and I accepted the invitation to submit an application to join. I was raised to know that no matter how people look or what language they speak or how they choose to live their lives, we're all far more alike than we are different. Yet I was watching civil rights riots and hearing George Wallace spew hate and not being able to understand what's at the root of hating a group of people you don't even know. So how could I not get involved in the anti-bias task force? If we could bring people together, if we could do good, if we could help maybe clear up some of the misunderstandings that lead people to dislike or distrust others who aren't just like them. It's called ethnocentricity. I learned about it in psychology class. It's when people believe their own group is superior. It's the root of a lot of problems historically and of course today. It's weaponizing differences in an effort to cultivate an us versus them environment. Hate and rage are both very addictive emotions, so if you can get one group to hate another or more than another, it can be very galvanizing, albeit counterproductive to a healthy society. You only have to scan the comments and name-calling on social media to see the damage. So I get on the anti-bias task force, and after a few years, another member, Michelle Lynch, and I are elected co-chairs. All we want is to engage the community and raise the profile so it doesn't take another horrific event for people to know that the anti-bias task force exists. We hosted programs on implicit bias to understand we all have biases and how to reduce them, programs celebrating Martin Luther King's legacy, honoring Holocaust remembrance, offering understanding about the asylum program, which is grossly misunderstood, monthly events, all in an effort to serve our town, to reduce the sometimes enormous gap between cultures, and ideally to bring people together. I tell you all this to explain the backstory of the Riverhead Town Anti-Bias Task Force when it was living up to its mission, when the driving force was not optics, but opportunities to better understanding and greater appreciation of others, regardless of their appearances, heritages, or preferences. Shortly after an article where we were ironically criticized for being white Democrat women, Michelle and I, 3 other women, and a man were unceremoniously cut. Our replacements pointed to a new, more conservative direction, serving on a group that would now be under the auspices of the town rather than, as it was originally, independent. And it seems the group has now bent even farther in this new direction. Given that the once anti-bias task force is turning its back on or prohibited from speaking up for marginalized groups and communities, I suggest the group consider changing its name as it has changed its mission and purpose. When you live in a town
Cindy,
as
I'm going to
diverse,
have to stop you.
two lines.
You,
When you live in a town as diverse as Riverhead, shouldn't you want to build a true sense of community? And when you pledge allegiance to liberty and justice for all, shouldn't you mean it? Thank you.
thank you for your comments. If there's anybody else that, yep, there we go. Is there anybody online? Just so I have a, okay, so we have a queue there.
Hi, Alex Lipsky, Lipsky Construction, on behalf of the board of the Long Island Science Center.
And Lucy Barnes on behalf of the Long Island Science Center.
The board has asked me to speak on their behalf. First and foremost, thank you very much to each member of the board for your comments. We are still open to working with you and making this project successful. We were not aware of the process of adding communication to resolution. For that, we apologize. We did submit this morning digitally to the clerk's office, and I want to reinstate that right now. We have all 90 pages printed out, and if I were to offer this to you, would you accept this?
That's already been circulated if you pay with my office. I got it already.
Okay, it was circulated this morning, so was it sent out to the board this morning?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, town clerk, sorry. If it was circulated and it was not read or acknowledged, which is what I heard from many of the prepared statements this morning, then we will always differ in opinion. If you will not accept this as written and confirmed documents, then we will always differ in opinion for the people that voted down on this. That's all I have.
Is it possible that we could meet again on Thursday after you've all had time to read the proof of what you are saying that is missing, because it's all here. We have the permits, we have the proof, we have the engineers' reports, and if you speak to your own engineers on the town square and your own architects on the town square, they'll tell you that we've been in constant communication with them and working with them. But it's a pretty dry and boring process, and if you guys had had any questions, you could have asked. And we're really, really happy to answer any questions at any time. I'll come every week and answer questions. But it might be a bit boring, but it's a lot of engineering. It's a lot of numbers right now. It's a lot of calculations. But we've been doing the work. We've been working so hard, and working with over 4 agencies within the town, and Joe Petroselli, the people building the town square. We've been working with them every week. So I don't know really how the town board has got the idea that we haven't been, but we have the proof right here, and we'd love to share it with you.
This is over 5 years worth of work, over $4 million in funding that has been raised. Again, the funding is there. The team is there. The permits are ready to be submitted in 1 month. We're working on the final details of that. The only thing in our way is this resolution.
Yeah, let me ask you this: does this resolution, is there any reason why you can't continue to file your permits?
From what I saw from the last resolution, we're just going to keep steaming forward. This does start I believe you're hiring an appraiser and an engineer and things to get in our way, but the building is still ours. We're still going to continue from what I understand.
Good. Glad to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
The only comment I have to say to that is our loans are delicate, and what the town did today is going to disrupt the financial process.
Yeah, I'm real curious about the timing of it for that reason, but thank you.
One of our online comments, if you want to queue one of those people up. If anybody else in the room has a comment, if you'd like to come up to the podium, make your way. We're going to take Miss O'Brien right now. Oh, Jim, is that okay? Are you ready for it, or you want to wait?
Hi,
Miss
can you
O'Brien.
hear me?
If you can wait. Yeah, we sure can, Colleen. I just having
Hi.
the people in the room wait.
Thanks for allowing me to speak again. I have 3 issues. I'm going to squeeze it in 3 minutes. I have 3 issues. The last one I'm going to save to last because I know there's going to be comments about it. Firstly, I would like to suggest, I do support Alive on 25, and I would like to suggest that the town establish a volunteer police auxiliary unit that would help us do traffic control, crowd control, cut down police costs at these public affairs. Contrary to what Mr. Rothwell says, $17,000 is a lot of money for police, for the young families in this town that are struggling to pay their mortgages and pay rent, feed their children. The second issue I'd like to bring up is, you say, Mr. Rothwell, you say that you have no control. You and the board members have no control over the property taxes in this town. I beg to differ with you.
That is not what I said. I said we don't control assessments.
Okay, let me continue, please. It is 46 years overdue that this town conduct a townwide property reassessment to get an accurate tax base, to support our ever-growing budget, and to help us avoid future unanticipated tax increases resulting for the payments of overpayments of taxes based on challenged tax abatement. You, as a town board, it's political poison, but it needs to be done. The time is now. The people in this town deserve to have an accurate tax base. And Mr. Halpin, you're always talking about the budget. We have a deficit. We need to close it. We need to get the tax base straightened out. No comments, I'm sure, because it's up to you. It's up to you, Mr. Rothwell. You've probably been on there, probably the longest on the board. Am I correct?
Yes.
With Mr. Cohen. Yes, there you go. Lastly, Mr. Rothwell, this is directed towards you. Relative to your pet project, the rink, when can the taxpayers expect to stop subsidizing the rink electric bills? Every 160,000 plus pennies will make a difference in closing the pending budget deficit that Mr. Halpin just mentioned.
So the pro forma that was put out was an expectation between 3 to 5 years that the town and the management would become profitable and that we would phase out having to pay for the electric costs. So you seem to not include the fact that the town received a $2.2 million gift from Pakanakaki that cost no funding to the taxpayers. And we do cover a portion of the electric. I've always stood by that because I believe in the project, just as though we go out and we cut grass on our baseball fields and we have building and grounds crews that beautify our parks all the time. Amenities in our town do cost money. But this was a plan that was put forth, and they're doing a phenomenal job. It's being well received. The kids in our town absolutely love it, and we expect that very shortly they will be turning a profit, and we can slowly conclude having to put in there. In addition, we have solar going on our landfill that's going to help with the electric costs as well. So there's a lot of things in the work to release any type of financial burden, but it is a great project, and I stand by it. So thanks for letting me.
Can I please respond to that?
Like you can have 10, if you have within 10 seconds, just because you're out over time. I'm sorry.
Recently, can I address him, please?
Sure.
We recently had a partial collapse at the rink. What's the remaining useful life on it? And when it is no longer viable because it collapses, a total collapse, then what happens?
So the project engineering stated that it has a 25-year lifespan, and we're only 2 years into it, so we got a remaining 23 years left. And the structure was deemed by an independent engineering company that came in and looked at it. That was under the direction, I believe they reached out to the supervisor and we hired somebody. And it is a strong, sturdy structure. It's just unique of the snow that came down on that particular time that stuck to it. But we're expecting in the next 23 years to have a great structure there. At no cost again. The building was gifted to the town of Riverhead. Please remember that.
I hope that you are correct. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. All right, we're going to take somebody in the room next. So if you could hold our next call, our next Zoom person. Well, one of you pick. There you go.
John McAuliff, Roanoke Landing. First, the slight amplification on the letter that I sent beyond what Mr. Wooten summarized. The point of the letter was discrimination against Irish immigrants being a motive for St. Patrick's Day, linking to the reason that there were 200 to 300 people in front of Town Hall as part of No King's Day, urging that the board address seriously the OLA legislation and the larger problem of immigration and the treatment of migrants. Which brings me to the question of the Anti-Discrimination Task Force. My experience in NGOs, non-governmental organizations, my understanding of corporate practice is when there is an accusation of racism, a conflict in which racism is an issue, that the people who are involved in it step back and that there is an independent assessment made of the accuracy of the charge. That's because racism is one of the deepest problems within our culture, and understanding what is and is not racism is not so simple. One of the comments that Ms. Merrifield made was deportation is not discrimination. Now, assuming that's an accurate quote, well, that's a talking point for the Trump administration. In fact, if you follow the replacement theory arguments and you follow Stephen Miller's rhetoric, in fact, deportation is discrimination. And the fact that you can have differences of opinion on that, but I think you have to understand why that would register as racist. to other people. And I think, while I understand what you're trying to do, Supervisor, I think that you need to step back a little and create an independent process to evaluate, and Mr. McLaughlin should be part of that, not just the liaison. Finally, on the issue of the 111, the property, three of you use the terms eminent domain. There is nothing in the language of the resolution that you adopted that uses the term eminent domain. Is the implication of your adoption of that resolution that you are now going to proceed with eminent domain, or are you going to bring the question of eminent domain for a specific resolution and a public discussion about whether people in the community believe you're making the right move to use eminent domain against this property? Thank you.
This would just be a preliminary resolution. As we did with the crafted building, we would have to hold a public hearing before proceeding with eminent domain.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Dawn Zabrowski, River Road, Calverton. It is ironic and absurd that each time I have come before you, I have willingly provided my name, and yet for months and months, you and Superintendent Zaleski have insisted upon masking the Highway Department's ugly poster children, Bucket Man and Ryan Nameless. The existential crisis is real and ongoing. Am I boring you, Mr. Rothwell? Nonetheless, I would like to provide you with some of my existential credentials. I celebrated my 59th birthday last Wednesday. 57 of those years I've been a resident of Riverhead Town, having come to Riverhead as a toddler from Southold, where Old Jewel Lane is named for my potato farmer grandfather, Julius Zabrowski, one of several generations of farmers on both sides. Rest in peace, Old Jewel. I'm a product of Riverhead Central School District, beginning kindergarten at Riley Avenue Elementary. I took violin lessons with Jeannie Warner, Jimmy Warner's mom. Some of you may remember Jimmy Warner as the founder of the Jazz Festival. May he rest in peace. When I grew up, I would marry a man who, when not hauling corn and potatoes for other local farmers, would haul nursery stock for Jimmy and his dad, Audie. May Audie also rest in peace. But before that, I would pick peas, cut zook, tie cauliflower, and pull corn for Lyle Wells, a local farmer remarkably patient with a teenager who struggled to keep pace with a recent Polish immigrant grandmother and her tween granddaughter in the blazing fields. May Lyle also rest in peace. If you played softball in Stotsky Park in the 80s, I probably made the pizza you ordered afterward at the historic Osborne Inn. Ronnie Zilnicki always ordered 2 onion bar pies, one to be consumed at the bar, the other to be taken home to his mom, Mrs. Zilnicki. May she also rest. Perhaps you have fond memories of prime rib on the special board at the Oakwood Inn. From this venerated establishment, another immigrant, beloved Irish entrepreneur Bridget Reynolds, provided the local population delicious, affordable, farm-to-table cuisine, decades before it became an expensive trend. When Billy Berezny showed up at the kitchen door with a crate of freshly picked produce destined for the dining room, it was beer o'clock, because dusty, sweaty farmers were never subject to a dress code at the Oakwood. May Bridgie also rest. My husband and I would go on to operate a commercial freight hauling business in this town explicitly tied to the local farming economy. Our first truck, a well-worn Western Star, was purchased from Tony Donseski. So in addition to paying exorbitant property taxes, we have purchased goods and services, parts and fuel, and employed drivers in this town. We roll our eyes every time Superintendent Zaleski beats his chest about his 32 years of experience. We have more miles going backward than he has going forward. I have history with and deep affection for this town. Wherever I travel, whether domestically or abroad, I cannot wait to get home to Calverton. So you will forgive my insistence that neither the Highway Department nor the municipality will be permitted to harbor toxic, misogynistic bro culture or to conceal negligence and incompetence, whether it be found at the Highway Department or here in Town Hall. See you next Tuesday.
Okay. Thank you for your deep passion for our town, as you mentioned. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone's passion for Riverhead. Is there anyone else in the room? And we have one online. We'll take the one online right now. Thank you so much for waiting, sir. Mr. Herrera, can you hear us?
Yes, Ron Hariri of Aquabog. Riverhead is the poorest and among the most taxed towns on all of Long Island and indeed all of New York State. Assessor Tenenbaum's multi-million-dollar screw-ups have been the subject of articles in the New York Post, including a recent one saying we taxpayers are getting, well, I won't use that word. Maybe it's because I'm from Queens also, and maybe it's because I enjoyed The Apprentice. But why isn't someone who is consistently screwed up, who courts have consistently found have misapplied the law, still employed? And another point I'd like to address, because Councilwoman Merrifield addressed the financial challenges the Science Center has faced. You have a master developer who failed to provide public assessment of its financials, contrary to the town's own rules. So again, I think you attacking the hardworking volunteers of the Science Center, desperately trying to raise funds to support something that would benefit the town, like the pot calling the kettle black. And another point I'd like to raise, because I've asked for this information and the supervisor indicated you were involved in the collapse of the town hockey rink. Why isn't there a final certificate of occupancy? How is that structure deficient, preventing the issuance of a final certificate of occupancy? And I want to compliment Councilman Kern suggesting the submission by the Science Center be presented to the press, because I'm sure the next headline in the New York Post and elsewhere will be bankrupt town spends millions of dollars to give away property to major donor. Thank you for your continued interest.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Herrera. I believe we have somebody. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. John Radigan, Riverhead. Councilwoman, you are correct. It is Celtic. Top of the afternoon to you.
Thank you. Wants to know something.
Yeah. In regards to comments made here by those online about our hockey rink, our taxpayers have the right to question how their tax dollars spent. I have no issue with that. My issue is when comments are made such as pet project, meaning that, Councilman, you're just there every day. In fact, there's a body double of you right now that's getting in, Herbies at the hockey rink. It's being used by kids of our town, constantly, who wouldn't have anything to do. It's not being used by, country club guys from Southampton. They have their own rink. If you're going to come here and make these charges, be accurate. I know one who makes these charges usually, has Esquire after his name. Please don't betray your education by making comments like that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else online? Nope, nobody else online. Anybody else in the room? All right, if you please make your way around.
Hi, Kimberly Judd, Riverhead. I just wanted to invite the town board to attend the banner installation for the veteran banners. Mr. Councilman Rothwell has been our liaison for a few years now, and it was in the past, there would only be 3 or 4 of us putting 100 banners up and down before the start of Memorial Day weekend and taking them down on Veterans Day. And this year, Riverhead Rotary is going to be assisting us. So if you don't have anything to do on Saturday, April 18th at 10 a.m., we're meeting here. Mr. Rothwell is going to open the building so we can get the banners, bring a pair of work gloves. If you have a ladder, that would be great because you have to, somebody like me, I'm height impaired, doesn't have to step up too far. And join us. We'll have a lot of people there and we'd love to see you.
Thank you so much.
Kim, you and Tom and Kerry, you guys just do a phenomenal job. Marge has joined us.
I wanted to get
I
up
don't
here before
see, I don't foresee her being on a ladder, but she's is a great aspect, help too. But it's a great committee. It's great.
Yes,
things.
I don't go up on the ladder. Usually I hand the banner to Ken and he screws it up and I report it, so.
We're going to need a little bit more help this year because when we put up the banners, they'll be going up, as you said, on April 18th they'll remain there for Memorial Day weekend. And then a little bit after that, those banners, they're all going to need to come down because we do have a banner program for the 250th anniversary of our nation. So they'll be selling banners to individuals and businesses. So they'll go up for a period of time. And then they'll have to come down and we'll need to put our veterans banners back up for Veterans Day coming up, in the
Do we have
November.
any new ones this year?
Currently, there are no additional new ones. Okay. But the Ken Testa, Building and Grounds, are doing great. We've added some brackets over into the Polish Town area. We're going to have some down by the Wading River duck ponds. We currently do also have them in Jamesport. And so in addition to Main Street. So we are, in the Polish Towns. And so we're growing. So, what was originally just a Main Street project, we ran out of room on Main Street. And so we'll be reaching out to some of the people who purchase banners that are in Wading River if they'd like theirs to be moved locally down by the duck ponds. So we're spreading out and we're doing great, but it keeps growing.
With 20 banners the first year, and now we have like 120.
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, yep.
You combine them all. So
great
please,
work.
We'd love to see you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for pointing that out. Yep.
Kim, I'd just like to let everybody know, thank you again for the half-shell habitat and everything the Rotary Club does with that. You're fantastic with all your volunteerism in the town. I very much appreciate it.
Yes, I have a question, but another time I'll ask you.
I want to wait for you too. But just to let everybody know, we're going to have a site visit from CTUC. That's going to be interesting. And in May, I'm very excited.
Cornell Cooperative is going to join us.
Great. Thank you again for your work and the Rotary Club's work with helping the town. Thank you.
Tim, did you have a question for Councilman Rothwell?
I just wanted to know exactly what's involved with these banners. I know they slide on. Is there a drill involved or anything?
No, it's at this point most of them are just manually, so we don't over tighten them. There's just a ball at the end of it that unscrews both sides. Banner just slides on evenly.
So something I could do.
Something you can do.
Okay.
We have one online. If you want to pull that person up online where they're talking to me.
Okay, good. And I've seen you on ladders painting out on Main Street.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
If you could, 1 second, Marge, Marge, if you give me 1 second, we're going to take the person online real fast. Thanks, Marge. Sorry.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? This is Jordan Rogoff from DXA, the architect for the Science Center. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, so thanks so much. So, I apologize. I'm traveling today, and I missed the earlier opportunity to speak with my team. I just wanted to take a moment to thank the board for the confidence over the past year. I know we got close to where we are today last year, and we're afforded additional time. And I just wanted to state that time we have not been sitting on our hands. We have been actively engaging the contiguous sites for issues that were brought up, such as water mitigation and coordination of stormwater drainage, all of that stuff. That this site is quite unique in that it requires a collaboration with no fewer than 5 other sites. Our studio is also working on East End Arts and is in the same boat with that project. That before we can file a site plan, we actually need to understand how everything's working on all of these different sites. So I've been a part of a lot of these very large scale projects, like the first phase of the High Line in Manhattan, Prudential Center in New Jersey, and then a project called the Stacks down in Washington, D.C., which is about 12 buildings. It gets very complicated. What seems like it should be something very fast, quick to file, it is far from that. Like understanding all of the grades, all the issues with the other sites, how they're being approached requires a tremendous amount of coordination. So I just want to reiterate that we have been working diligently, and I hope that package that Lucy and Alex shared, that you take an opportunity to take a look at that and understand just how much we've done and how close we are to really, being able to move forward with this. I also want to state that the smaller footprint that we discussed is really just the phase one, opening the door as quickly as possible. And while it is in alignment with what we said a year ago, we are much, much closer, having done all of the diligence and coordination, and just ask that you give us an opportunity to move this forward. The Long Island Science Center has been a member of the community there for 30 plus years. And I have no doubt in my mind, doing what I do, that they are the right tenant for this spot. And I really hope for an opportunity to work with you to show you that this is the case. But again, want to reiterate, we have done a tremendous amount of work, and the $4 million worth of funding is viable, and we hope to continue this project. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your comments. Mrs. Would you like to come up? We have one more in-house currently.
They saved the best for last.
Good afternoon. Marjorie Acevedo, Wading River. I'm speaking on behalf of, as the residents, I guess. I want you to know that I've known Dick Amper for over 40 years. I started with Dick Amper I was his travel agent, believe it or not, many years ago. And when I got involved in government, he said to me, make sure you keep a journal. He said, it's the most important thing you'll ever have. Well, I didn't take Dick's advice, but I followed him very closely in his environmental career, because when he started his environmental career, he came to me. I was working in the congressional office, and he said to me, I have a problem. He said, they want to build condominiums around Lake Panamoka, and I don't want them. So I said, well, Dick, and I was on an environmental committee at the time, actually, with Fred Thiel, and I said, find an endangered species. Just kidding, I said that. Well, Dick found an endangered species, the tiger salamander, and hence started the career of Dick Amper as our environmental, as Joe Janowski called him, an environmental terrorist, because he just started the world known as Dick Amper's Pine Barren Society. So I'm going to read an article to you, which I think really this town and I think all of Suffolk County owes him a tribute for all that he's done for us and the environmental aspect of Suffolk County. It's an article by Michael Doby, and I really want to read it into the record so that we have a copy of it. I think it's important. It's in Newsday, but it's I think people might have just glanced over it. Death demands reflection and introspection. And so I found myself thinking quite a bit this past week about the passing of Dick Amper. Dick was 81 when he died Monday, was one of the Long Island's most environmentalists, a man who brought to his work a seemingly boundless energy. His long and admirable record of accomplishment was highlighted by his work to protect and preserve our precious pine barrens and his decade-long tenure as executive director of Long Island Pine Barren Society. Every movement needs a megaphone, and he was a megaphone. For one region's nature lovers are conservationists, that was Amper. When it came to the environment in general and protecting open space and clean water in particular, he brokered no dissent. But one person's passion is another's abrasion, and some elected officials and real estate developers bristled under Amber's microscope. I knew Dick for a number of years as a chronicle and champion of environmental causes throughout my career as a journalist, and still Dick had no hesitation in letting me know bluntly if I missed some point or was not passionate enough in my efforts at persuasion. Usually he was right. His loud and relentless advocacy paired well with the efforts of some of his peers in the clean water fight, people like Adrian Esposito of Citizens Campaign for the Environment, Bob DeLuca of Group for the East End, Kevin McDonald of the Nature Conservancy, and John Turner, co-founder of the Pine Barrens Society. They were just as tireless, but worked the corners, using nudges instead of elbows. It was an effective partnership, a riff on the good cop, bad cop routine, and our region is much better for it. But there is another, perhaps more crucial element to an appreciation of Amber's life work. His passion should remind us that for all the attention we pay our political leaders and their undeniable importance in setting a tone, making sure things run correctly, and determining our quality of life. Equally vital are the advocates and watchdogs who in a very real sense are our eyes and ears and voices. Long Island, like many places, is a complex web. We elect representatives at various levels of government to take care of things, but then many of us simply trust that those things will get done in a proper way. Of course, that doesn't always happen. Enter the environmental advocates. They speak for those who cannot push for change that is overdue and make sure the promises are kept. They do what the rest of us cannot or will not or cannot do. Even though we would be among the first people to notice the diminishment of the life on Long Island if we were not for these efforts. Their passion in our life's blood and our welfare is enhanced on their work. That certainly was and still is true for Amber and his colleagues in the clean water fight, especially in Suffolk County with its vast, unscrewed spaces, but it is equally true for a host of other environmental issues for people struggling with substance abuse and addiction, homelessness, or mental health issues for our veterans also.
All right,
In
Marge,
all
can
of
I,
these
Marge,
cases,
can I just ask you how much more you have?
just
Okay.
two more little paragraphs. In all of these cases, the work done by advocates is essential. As the story goes, Amber was running a public relations firm in the 80s when some environmentalists asked whether he could help them in their efforts to protect the Pine Barrens from development. He dipped his toes in those waters, then dove in for a lifetime. It is true, as Jean-Pierre Sartre wrote, that a person is nothing else but the sum of their actions. People like Dick Amber and his colleagues are a blazing reminder of the importance of getting involved. They show us every day that the change we need is often within us. I read this only because I think every one of us had an interaction with Dick Amber at one time, whether it be good or bad. And I have to tell you, Dick, when he put his nose nose into something, he stuck with it till he saw it to the very end. So, and I think Riverhead is a better place for it as it stands right now. So,
Thank you, Mark.
And I miss Dick terribly because he was a great sounding board. Thank you.
Yeah, evident in your comments. Thank you for honoring him that way. And
It was this was words from somebody from Newsday, but I felt they had to be read because I don't think there was enough acknowledgement about all the great things that Dick did over the years. So, thank you.
Very good, Marjorie.
that said, I don't think we have any more open comments during this time. And if that's the case, I'd like to just have a motion to close our meeting.
So moved.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. closed. Thank you and have a great day.